Monday, stabilizing day. We are starting in the room with our first two moves. Our first move is a dumbbell supine, how did she say this? Single leg raise. So, you're gonna be here, okay? How we're doing this is your legs are actually gonna be off of the ground a little bit as you press opposite hand to a leg, okay? So, with this, you've gotta make sure that your core is pulled all the way in. You're inhaling, and then as you exhale is when you're bringing that leg and hand together. If you feel like your back is swaying at all, okay, with anything where you're lifting your legs off of the ground, if your back rises off, you're not using your core. So if you feel that at all, go ahead and bring that other knee in and extend the opposite leg, okay? And really work on making sure that that lower back is in contact with the ground. Because if it's not, you're not going to use the correct muscles anyways, and so it's not gonna be a productive move. So, inhale, pull that belly button in nice and tight. Exhale as you press and do that single leg raise. Our next one in there is a single arm ring push-up with a shoulder tap. So we've got the rings, they're super low. You're gonna have one hand in a ring, okay, one hand on the ground. You're gonna do a push-up, go all the way down and up, and then the hand that's on the ground is going to come up into a shoulder tap. So this is also adding the ring element to it is going to make it significantly harder and more challenging on your core. So if you feel like the ring is just making you too wobbly and you can't keep your core, go ahead and you can do a push-up on the ground with a shoulder tap and not use the ring, or you can just go to a knee push-up and still get that same range of motion and then come up into that shoulder tap. So those are the first two in there. Then you're gonna come out here and you have a kettlebell plank pull into a row. How'd you say that? Into a bent over row. Okay, and then we're gonna inchworm. So it's 4 to 5 on each side. So you're gonna start, okay, you're gonna inchworm out to plank. Okay, go back, grab that kettlebell, bring it up to where your face is, and then hop to that kettlebell and row in this bent over position. Okay, walk it out, okay, come back into that kind of a bear, not a bear crawl, but a tabletop. Grab that kettlebell, bring it up, and then hop and row. So you're gonna do 4 to 5 on one side, turn around, come back 4 to 5 on the other. When you go to pull it, make sure that it's a weight that you can actually pick up and pull and bring down, not just drag on the turf, okay? So we're actually bringing that off of the ground as we pull it forward. Our kettlebell snatch to an overhead reverse lunge. So snatch, we keep that kettlebell super close to our body as we go straight from ground to overhead, okay? There's no pause and press. So we're gonna grab that kettlebell, okay? I'm using more of my squat mechanics, so I'm keeping my butt down and my chest up a little bit, okay? And then I'm gonna pull that kettlebell all the way up and then go into a reverse lunge, okay? With that kettlebell overhead, bring it back down and start over. So you're gonna do 5 on each side. You can alternate this if it feels better to kind of give one side a break after that snatch. If you wanna go a little heavier, we're doing 5 on each side. Other thing with this is when you go to do that reverse lunge with weight overhead, be very careful not to extend that leg too far back, because then you will get that kind of curve in your back. So make sure that that knee is in where you can keep that back nice and flat, so that when you push to the heel of that leg, you're using all of that glute and hamstring and not that lower back. So be mindful of where that foot goes when you're reverse lunging. Then the last one here is a banded half circle with abs band for this. Okay? You want to make sure that this is more about stabilizing on one leg while the other leg is moving. So we're gonna be in kind of a bent, slight knee. Your one leg is gonna go out in front of you. You're going to kind of follow that toe around. Just gently glide that floor as you go all the way around, trying to push against that, keeping these hips nice and stable. Come up to a knee and then abduct out, okay? Toe comes out, around, up, and then out. So when you're doing this, you want to make sure that your hips aren't actually moving, that it's your adductors and abductors that are moving that leg, okay? So again, you don't need a heavy band. Otherwise, you're just gonna get a really small range of motion, and it's more about stabilizing while you're using a bigger range of motion. So, lighter band is better. Work your way up. So start on the light band if you need heavier, work up instead of working down. Then we have over here, we have a dumbbell squat to a single leg balance. So we're going to be bilaterally squatting. So you've got the dumbbell on one shoulder. We're going to squat, and whatever shoulder the weight is on, that knee is going to come up into a balance, okay? Then you're going to come back out, squat, knee up into balance, inhale down, exhale pulling in that core so that your lower abdominals are helping to bring this knee up and not just your hip flexor. So, squat, and it's easier when that weight is at your shoulder. You're keeping your chest up, sitting that butt down, okay, pushing those hips back, and then coming up into that standing position. We have 6 on each side. Then we have a wall ball low shuffle. We've got 3 shuffles and then a single leg slam is what we're calling it. Okay, so we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Inside leg comes up and goes back as you slam. 1, 2, 3. Inside leg up and slam. So you got 6 to 8 slams. You're not counting the steps between, you're counting the slams. 6 to 8 total. Then we have a single leg plank, knee tuck to plank. So we're here in our plank position, okay? We're gonna have one knee come into a tuck, and then that knee's gonna go up as we push back into a plank, or into a pike. And then come back here, level out, knee comes in, kind of rock forward a little bit on that toe to get a little more core activation, and then leg goes up as we go back into pike. So take this one nice and slow. Use it as a time to kind of stretch and get some mobility through your shoulders without a ton of weight. Stretch out those hamstrings and that calf. You got 5 to 6 on each side, and then 1 to 2 field laps. And we just do that. Okie dokie.